All right, brethren. Good to see y'all. Elijah, Bronze Yogi, and Brother Daryl. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for checking in. Good to see y'all. I hope I say something bless your soul on the video today. Let me get it started. All right. I don't think you can hear me blowing that horn for some reason, but I like to do it to whether it works or not. Summon the creator. Brethren, thank you for joining me. My name is Shaikwab Yisrael, and this is my channel where I just simply I can't figure out anything better to do with my time than to try to share what the Creator is showing me so that I can turn around and try to bless brethren who are like-minded. Um, I'm scrolling the commandments for the commandments, the OAHSPE Bible commandments given to us by the Creator, but have been corrupted in the King James Bible. Let me make the wording bigger so you can read it. Comes from the OAHSPE Bible, the commandments of Jehovah. So I want to try to scroll it while I'm doing my monologue. Good way to put it down into our spirit to remind us what our foundation is. That's one thing, if you're looking in the world, that people are looking for, but as faithists, we know that the only true foundation is the Creator. One way or another, all of us know that we're accountable to the Creator. And He's blessed us with the newest revelation, the OAHSPE Bible. This is a room where I like to offer for other OAHSPE brethren to come and to have fellowship with one another, try to share the word. And I like to try to have my channel to where if there are brethren and they want to share a word, they have something that they want to present to other brethren, then that's one reason why that's another reason why I have this channel. I think that at the present time, there's not a lot of channels where it don't seem to be a lot of opportunity for brethren to get together and talk with one another. I don't have to do any. I don't have to do a reading or a lesson at all. If brother wanted to come on and he just wanted to chop it up and talk about things and what's going on in his reality, then you're more than welcome. I just try to keep the focus on Jehovah so that other brethren, they can be encouraged as well. So I want to give thanks to the Creator for this opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality. I just can't think of anything better than to try to do something to serve brethren. That's very uh, highly esteemed in the eyes of the Creator. From what I can read, is pretty much everything I keep reading in the OAHSPE is the focus. It seems to be what the Adarian angels, the righteous gods, the righteous angels, the righteous lords, what they do for us. That's it. I mean, I can't. That's about all I can see when I read the OAHSPE. Now, I love it. And so I'm the type of brother, I just love to get the big picture and then just kind of look at the details as I go along, learn the details as I go along. And then another thing I'm finding, I guess, just like with anything, it's a lonely walk. It's a lonely walk for us, brethren. And chances are, at least in my reality, you're probably going to end up offending somebody with the things that you're trying to share. At least that's what I've seen. So much to the point where I really thank the Creator for. I think that one of the ways that He's affected me is basically to. I basically just like to hold my peace nowadays. I think it's a sign of growth. I think. I mean, not to. if I get an opportunity, if the Creator opened the door and I'm talking with somebody, I certainly will share. But I love the way I believe the Creator. He's taking a load off of my mind. It's okay to just hold your peace, and you don't have to try to force people to see it your way. As long as you see it, that's all that really matters. As long as you see it, brother, that's all. That's what not like, you have to look down on anybody, but just so long as you get it, if you can subscribe to the OAHSPE, then that's all that really matters, from what I can see. And then everybody else will come later on. But if it's your time, from what I can see, here is the word. Here is the Creator trying to prepare you for the 2049 harvest, whether you're in the body or outside of the body. It's the Creator, man. He's trying to prepare you. He's saying, if you want to, if you, you know, here's a room that I fellowship with. I should have the link in the description area. I got other links in the description area for other brethren who are trying to do the same thing, trying to educate you, trying to share with you what the OAHSPE has to, you know, what the Creator. It's like, you know what? It's like, it reminds me of like the Creator. He let everybody take their best shot. It's like he let everybody take their best shot. Okay, here are my people. Go ahead. See if you can deceive them. You go ahead, get all your licks in, and then I'm gonna step in when I'm ready. When I'm ready to do away with y'all talking about false gods, religion, and beast kingdom. You go ahead. Here go. Take your best shot. I remember listening to a girl, man. I'll never forget it. I'll never ever forget listening to some girl. It was years ago, and she did a study and she found something out about the Bible. She translated it, and she said that there was a part in the Bible, brethren, I'm sorry, I don't remember where it was, where she said the translation was the false gods were saying something like, give me man, and I will make him a demoralized servant. I'll make him is that the exact words she said? Let me think for a second. She said some type of word that goes along with demoralized. And I remember looking at it myself, digging into it, and it was, I certainly saw what she was talking about. She was able to get the translation out of something she was studying, and it said something to the effect of Satan saying, I will make man a demoralized servant. And then when you read the OAHSPE and the information that we are, the way that the OAHSPE has exploded the Bible. I mean, the Bible has absolutely been, it's been exploded. I mean, for me, the Bible was my world. I was a Hebrew Israelite, and man, it was my only foundation. And then the Third Testament, that was the uppercut. And then the OAHSPE was the right hook, man. I got totally set up to be prepared for this. And man, I'm telling you, I love it. I just love it, man. I know that you brethren probably feel the same way. Here's a room I fellowship with online, Facebook. And then I have my room where I basically just try to do the same thing, share things that I'm learning. But the Creator, it's like he said, okay, here go my people. We've been chased all over the world, meaning faithists. It's always been that way. Creator, he allowed us to be chased all over the world. And now finally, here we are in Guatemala, called America, or Thuri. And we ain't got all we got, hell, we can't go nowhere else now. It's an ocean out there. That's the only, I mean, if the pursuit was from east to west, I'm looking at it like the pursuit was from east to west. You know what I mean? And we ain't got now we're just like the Israelites in the book of Exodus, leaving Egypt. It's like we can't go back. The Pharaoh army is on our behind and we can't go forward because we got a big body of water there. you know. Hey, brother. You know what, man? Don't be mad at me. I'm glad that I'm saying this and I'm not near you because you would beat me up. I'm gonna make fun of you lightheartedly. I love to look at your picture, man, because you remind me of Frosty the Snowman. Hey, bro, I'm just poking fun at you. I love you. You really bless my soul. But every time I look at your picture, okay, brother, forgive me, man. I had to say that. Omian, brother, thanks for checking in, man. Thank you for joining me. I hope I say something to bless all y'all. See, Omian says, I get confused when they say Hebrew Israelite. Is it just not Israelite? Or is it just not Israelite? I still subscribe to, I look at it like Hebrew is as an ethnicity and Israelite, or Hebrew is the language that I believe. I mean, I do believe still that our people are the ethnic Hebrew Israel. When I say our people, I mean, not our people in the sense that, I mean, so far as ethnic group, Negroes, Latinos, and natives, the literal Hebrew Israelites, I still believe that. And I believe Hebrew Israelite is identifying language and ethnicity. I think I've seen enough and learned enough to believe that that is true. And my name, Yaiquab Yisrael, is basically translated. All it means is he who supplants or takes back what was formerly theirs. But ethnically, I still subscribe to being a Hebrew Israelite. But doctrinally, I do not subscribe to the Hebrew Israelites anymore, meaning that I believe all men, no matter what race or whatever, are the children of God. I believe that the Creator, He makes it clear, and it makes sense to me. Hey, Mahalia, sister, thank you for joining. Thank you for checking in. Good to see you. So that's where I'm coming from when I use the term Hebrew Israelite on me. I think that in the world, Hebrew Israelites, they use it as a they use it as a to mean set apart, better than everybody else, the only ones, the chosen. And the OAHSPE, it warns about that. Looking at yourself like you better than somebody else. The Creator, He forbids it. Like I was saying earlier, man, He don't let everybody have a shot at us. He let everybody, he let the beast kingdom run amok. You drinking your cinnamon tea, homie? He let the beast kingdom loose on us, and man, they simply tore us apart, defaced us. So much so that he had to give us the OAHSPE because we had lost our way that much. From what I can understand, we had lost our way that much, man. That it's like he had to, he said, my people are, they too discombobulated, you know, they too separated. They ain't joining with one another, you know, they ain't talking to one another. They ain't got no type of communities going on. I got to send them this. Let me send them this word. Just like, in the Bible, it says something interesting. It say he sent his word and he healed them. I should get that. That's a good thing to look at. That's the thing. The Bible trips me out now. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good wisdom in the Bible, man. I mean, it's a lot of good. You know what I mean? It's a lot of good wisdom in the Bible. Jesus Christ, he said some things. that are, I mean, wisdom filled things. And I think how it had to be that way so that the deception could be greater. But what people can't see is the deception. And the deception is the inspiration that he was under, at least a part of the Jesus Christ that was the deception. He sent his word and healed them. And that's so, I mean, you just gotta, I mean, the way you can read the Bible differently now, it's like the creator, he's just done explode. I mean, I'm sorry I keep talking about it. I just can't get over it. As I get older, then I'll kind of lose steam. I'm gonna calm down, you know, at what the creator is doing. I can't help but talk about it, man. I'm not saying that everybody has to. I'm just saying, Psalm 107:20, he sent his word and healed them. And then I read that before. I used to think, man, how is that? How can he do, what do this mean? He sent his word and healed them. To me, it was nonsensical up till now. I don't like nonsense, man. I can't get with nonsense, vanity. I mean, even before I, knew the OAHSPE, even when I was I mean, I just can't deal with, vanity and BS. And I guess you get that way as you get older. You don't like, you want to cut the fat, man. He sent his word and healed them, man, and delivered them from their destructions. And I really, boy, I see that now. Oh, I forgot to put the link in the room. Shoot. So if you brother have a word, you certainly welcome to come on. And the reading's gonna be good, man. Book of Judgment, chapter 36. Gonna be a good word, brethren. Pray the Creator bless it, man. Pray He bless it, man. It's a miracle because, you brethren, you know what I mean when you read and this word, you know the effect that it does to you. See, that lets you know that He's chosen you right now to germinate. Not like we have to be better than anybody else, but it's just your time. I mean, the faith that's a boat where anybody can get on at any time you want, man. You can come. The harvest is coming. The faithists, they see it and they want to get ready. There's another word in the Bible. What is it? I forget. It says something like, the righteous see trouble coming and hideth himself, and the wicked go on and are destroyed. King James Version. Y'all remember that word? Look at that. Proverbs 22. That's the thing. See, it's like the creator, he's done made the Bible say a lot to where when we wake up, when we come out of deception, we can see how the creator, he can use anything, man. He ain't limited. He can use, the four horsemen. You see, I don't mean to laugh, man, but it's pretty embarrassing to see them brothers destroy. And up till now, I used to always think, man, can't no one ever touch a Hebrew Israelite when it comes to the Bible. But you look at them, man, you look at them videos, and it's a shame what they do to them brethren. I mean, the first time I saw a debate, I had to watch it like maybe 10 times because I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? That's the effect that when I first came into the OAHSPE and I seen that debate, man, I'm telling you, it had an effect on me, man. I just couldn't believe it, and then I thought to myself, why, about the brothers. the brothers that was debating these brothers. I was like, hey man, why don't you just break, man? Why won't you break, man? And just receive the truth. Just break. That's all you got to do. Repent, man. It would have been a glory right there. If they had been interviewing me and I was a Hebrew Israelite, and then they would have came at me with the information, I would have just said, hey man, you know what? You got me, man. This is crazy. Brother, why don't you share some more? Matter of fact, will you get with me after we get off of this video? Because now I got some serious questions. You would think that they would do that. See, the name of you know what? Let me show you something real quick. I just posted this. I don't know if this applies, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. But see here, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, and he hideth himself, man. But the simple pass on and are punished. Meaning, in my mind, if you under the beast kingdom, I'm telling you, man, that's a real thing. Brother, that's for real, man. Don't you know that the beast kingdom is for real? It's for real, man. Now, I love what we read the other day where the creator, he said, hey, don't trip on the religion. He said that people, they do it with sincerity in their heart, and leave that to me. I'll identify them. But he still warns about deity worship. He said he uses, basically, it's like he was saying he can use anything to reach down there and get his people. Ain't nothing going to prevent him, man. You know, he knows who's operating in sincerity and truth. See, now this might not apply, but I'm sure it anyway. I feel like, it applies some type of way. Here's a ministry I have where if I ever find out about their orphans and elderly and disabled, I could certainly be contacted, man. I count it a pleasure. Try to glorify the Creator in this way. I can certainly be contacted, man. Most definitely. If you brethren you probably know what it's like to go without food, be shorthanded, and you got children, No, man, no. I'm in. I can be contacted, man, to help out. I surely can, man. That happened to me. I remember that lesson, and I give thanks to the Creator because He gives me the wherewithal to do something like that. Now, here's my room on on Facebook. You can check it out if you want. But then there are other links that Brother Omian, who's on the video right now, he's got a couple of rooms on Facebook. If you looking, you're gonna find us. If you, depending on your heart's desire, you're gonna find brethren to fellowship with. That's the beautiful thing. Now, before I came on, I made a study. I've been talking recently and trying to share with brethren that there's a way. I made a mistake approaching the Creator boldly a couple of days ago. I pretty much demanded the Creator give me light, like it says in the book of Tay. Give me light. Only I was pretty firm, and the Creator, He answered me, and then later on, He taught me in his own way. Yaquab, I don't want you to come at me like that. I want you to humble yourself. Don't be proud. When you want to come and you want to make requests, humble yourself. Humble yourself. I think He understood, the intent of my heart, and that I wanted to know. I wanted to learn. And so He gave me this idea that I've been sharing with you the last couple of days, where you can just, they got AI now, or you can talk to the computer. I'm telling you, man, they got it to where you feed the computer information. Just feed it. It's funny, Elijah popped up because he's an Aquarius. And this is what his people do. They give the world technology. They give the world technology, man. Those are the brainiacs of the zodiac. Aquarius, And so you got that AI. All you got to do is put the information in. Just put it in, man. And it'll jumble it all up. And evidently, it operates on different etymological. Well, I don't know how it does it, man. Maybe the symbols, they place values on symbols and they put them together, and then you get your answer. You know, I'm telling you, man. When I see that type of stuff, you got to think of the creator, man. And so when we think about the different worlds that Brother Malachi was talking about, we shared the other day, I mean, you just can't imagine, man. But faiths, they know in their spirit. They know what they heading for. So here's something that I asked the AI based. I uploaded the book of Jehovah. I've uploaded about 6, 7 books so far. I'm going to upload the whole OAHSPE. I'm gonna upload the whole OAHSPE and feed it into that AI so that I can just ask. But it only does one book at a time. You know what I mean? It only do one book at a time, and then you'll probably never hear from me again, man. When I get finished uploading all them books, it's gonna be hard for me to do videos because you get a little. Well, you want to share, but I can see a real ability to get real selfish and want to just, all day long, just it's like eating good food. So, anyway, the document that I was studying at this particular time was the Book of Jehovah. And I asked it a question. I asked it something along these lines. Let me see. What does it say? It says, I think or the question was something like, uh, why is it important? Is it important for man to think for himself? Something like that. Let me see. Oh man, shoot! I got to close the curtain. Hold on. Okay, now I can see the screen. It says, I asked it something like this, or let me see. It says, teaching man, something to the effect of man thinking for himself. And the response that I got is, teaching man to think for himself is important for various reasons as outlined in the document. See, I think I was thinking about, or when I read this is a question, we live in the beast kingdom. In the beast kingdom, you get your mind taken away. The beast kingdom, talking about Christianity, Buddhism, Mohammedanism, Catholicism, Protestantism, because they're telling you, we want you to subscribe to how we see things, and people do it. And then they get tribal and they just get with themselves. And now you're making a mistake because now it's hard to see the creator. He made man to be individualistic within a group of people. Man is allowed to keep his identity. He's allowed to keep his individuality within a group of people. That's the beauty of the faithist. It's like the creator, he seems to like a variety of flavors, not just one all the time. And so you brethren, even you brethren, you got different gifts that he wants you to share with the body, share with other brethren. And, that's one reason why I have those links in the description area. I try to, when I find out there's a brother out there and he's got a ministry, I like to try to put it in the description area so you can check him out. There's some brethren you might like their flavor better than others. So this said, teaching man to think for himself. This comes out of the Book of Jehovah or Siddhantes, one of those two. It says, teaching man to think for himself is important for various reasons as outlined in the document. Number one, it encourages independence, personal growth, and intellectual development. It says another reason is empowering decision making and enhancing problem solving skills. Another reason why it's important for man to think for himself is encouraging critical thinking and resisting conformity. See, that's the beast kingdom right there for you. That's why the OAHSPE, it says, it calls it Cephas, I believe, one of the 9 entities, Cepha, where it's really pretty much forced on you, talking about the dogma of the religions. You got to pray 5 times a day. You have to, you look at the Mohammedans, sometimes they take whips and beat themselves. I think it's called flagellation or something like that. It's forced religion. And the creator is saying in the book of Job, he is saying that one of the reasons why it's important that you have critical thinking is so that you can be delivered. You can think for yourself. You don't have to subscribe to what a long held doctrine. And that's one of the problems that I had talking with somebody is they expect everything to stay the same. They just can't. They're not flexible. First thing that the brother mentioned is, I am the Lord, I change not. And okay, man, all right, man, logic should be able to tell you if you still 60 years old and you on Similac, baby formula, we got a problem, man. Logic alone, man, should tell you you got a problem. You ain't maturing, man. You still the same way you was back when, you sometimes people, they mean that it's an insult. You still the same. You don't never change. And they mean it as an insult. It's an insult, man. Even the world know that you got problems when you're not growing where you should be growing. The creator, he don't even got to say nothing. It should be obvious. Encouraging critical thinking and resisting conformity. It says promoting personal responsibility. I mean, come on, man. All these things, don't they should just flat out make sense. Let me see. David says, oh, I didn't know that. The Catholic Church. Are you serious? That must have been like first, second century. That had to be. Well, shoot, man. When you look at the Spanish Inquisition, now I see your point. Another point for learning to think for yourself, fostering spiritual growth, individual judgment, and personal development. I mean, you ain't gonna always get it right, even if you have all these skills. Man, there's an element when it comes to spirituality that is able to deceive you. But chances are, if you operating under these types of vibrations, you eventually, Beast Kingdom ain't gonna be able to hold you for long, man. That's the miracle of the creator to me. He puts a vibration on you where you wake up. You got to wake up, man. He may put something else on us. And we're going to subscribe to that too. A road is not always straight. You know what I'm saying? It's winding. Tell me a road that's 100% straight. Well, there's some, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? That's the exception to the rule. And then it says another reason for learning how to think for yourself, facilitating self-reflection and avoiding deception. Creator don't want you to be deceived, brother. Promoting spiritual awareness and aligning with higher spiritual principles. Developing prophetic abilities and creating meaningful spiritual practices. See? And my sister, From time to time, I like to share her word. Well, I mean, not her word, but she likes to share the metaphysical word. I used to do it all the time, and then there was a break in the action, and whenever she gave me something, I like to share it real quick. And metaphysical, the meaning of metaphysical things, and it's basically something the Creator. He's showing you another way of learning if you can receive it. If you want to receive it, that's all it is. It ain't nothing. It ain't spooky. It's just another way of ministering to yourself so that you can see what is unseen. It's called the metaphysical meaning of the word. Now here we have a word here, Malchus. Malchus. A ruler, counselor, judge, or king. So what the Creator allowed this brother here to do is to show him the meaning of things in the Bible, meaning of the words in the Bible, and how the Creator's using it to show you the unseen world, the vibrations that we are under. See, this particular word is Malchus. Now, historically, Malchus was a servant whose right ear Peter cut off with his sword when the soldiers and the officials came out to take Jesus. Then it says Jesus rebuked Peter and healed the man's ear. And the metaphysical meaning is the high priest represents the executive power of divine law. Now, see, that's where I have a problem with. See, now we can read the Bible with overstanding. Now, I'll receive this divine law, but it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? But I can dig it. How he's using it. It says the high priest represents the executive power of divine law. It says here the high priest symbolizes the executive power or ruling thought in the phase of man's consciousness that is established in old formal religious ideas and activities. It does not accept the Christ life and truth, but attempts to deny them out of consciousness and crucify the Christ. See, that's where this metaphysical, it's like it can be problematic, but if you just apply it to OAHSPE learning, then you can get a lot of fruit out of it. So this was written back at a time when the brother, he was under the beast kingdom, but he gives you enough flavor where you can taste the spirituality of what he's saying here, as he uses Christ as the Messiah. So he was under that vibration. But you should be able to see, basically the point is tradition. The harm of tradition for faith is how you can look at this. I can't read the whole thing because it's too long. But if you want to stop the video, you can read it. So let me go back the verses that I posted. Now here's something I share. It says the document describes, talking about the book of Jehovah. This is talking about the book of Jehovah. This is what I put in to the software. I can't remember the question though. It won't let you copy and paste the question you ask as a reason for the things that it spits out and gives you. And you have to, when you read this stuff, you got to use discernment because it's not always 100% right. One of the responses I got was Father, Son, Holy Ghost, as an example. And then it says here, this document describes vivid scenes of spirits returning after death in various scenarios, reflecting earthly tendencies, beliefs, and actions. These scenes include spirits of different individuals, like a rich man, a deal. Oh, okay. Actually, I covered this a couple of days ago. It's talking about the, uh, you know, uh, brother or sister crosses over, and if they were under one of these categories, what their actions are in the spiritual world. Basically, if they're not a faithist, they'll keep doing the same things that they did on earth. They don't understand that they crossed over. Here, this is saying they're the same. They keep the same mind. It says The document describes vivid scenes of spirits returning after death in various scenarios, reflecting earthly tendencies, beliefs, and actions. These scenes include spirits of different individuals, like a rich man, a dealer in wines, a woman of high caste, a materialistic man, a farmer, a gourmandizer, that's a man who eats a whole lot of food, and more, each experiencing unique situations in the spirit world based on their behaviors in life. The spirits return to earth from the unseen world, interacting with mortals and observing their actions, influencing them positively or negatively. The overall atmosphere is one of spiritual awakening, with the veil between the living and the dead being lifted and a profound sense of divine presence and power permeating the scenes. Additionally, symbolic depictions in the document show the cleansing and purging process in the spiritual realm, representing the triumph of righteousness and the expulsion of negative influences. So that's something to rejoice over. We know, you brethren, you faith this, you brethren, you know where you're going. We live in a world where, man, that's one thing that people want assurance about. They want to know, am I on the right road? Do I have, religion, especially Christianity? Really, it's like fire insurance. People wearing the cross, letting you know, I'm covered. Don't worry about me. I'm covered. See, I'm wearing this cross, ain't I? That means my policy is paid up. I got one ticket that says admit one into heaven. And that's the way the world look. That's the way they look at it. They really, and it caused them to just not be proactive. You know what I mean? It caused you to stagnate, man, when you know that it's all, you know, you just, I'm all set. I don't need to really do anything else. And now I'm going to just live life kind of hanging out, just freak out in the old kind of way. And it's all good, you know. And then something else that I was sharing. It says, matter of fact, this goes along with this right here, kind of, because I shared this the other day on video, talking about high caste women. High caste women, like in this reality, it's like they want you to know that they on top. Everything is about recognition, you know, recognition, power. And let me see, Daryl, this is feedback. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you got a problem with it, let me know, okay? I mean, if you see something different, let me know, all right? Because like I said, you do got to watch it. And I don't know everything. I'm still just learning. When I approached the creator, I asked him to help me speed up my learning, and this is what he gave me. And I like to share it. And what it basically does is takes the information you feed into it, and then it kind of jumbles it all up and spits this stuff out. And then it's up to you to see if you can receive it. Yeah, I can't say it enough, brethren. Please, every one of you, man, who you want to, if you want to look at the OAHSPE in a different way, get artificial intelligence and then make files of the OAHSPE. Make files of the OAHSPE. If you can receive it, man, maybe, some brethren, will have a problem with it. It's up to you, but your desire to learn, if it's real great, then let technology help you. It don't always have to be an enemy. I perceive that in our day and age, that if there's something, that's noble, eventually, man, he'll get a hold of it and then use it to bring brethren under submission, under control. You know what? I think, who was it? You know, um, do you know I was looking at a video and the girl's name is Wendy something. She's an investigative reporter. I can't remember her name. Wendy, I can't remember. I was looking at her video the other day, and she got the spirit on her to see how the powers that be are trying to get. They try to centralize power in order to control you. That means control information input and output. And don't be surprised, man. Personally, I don't think faith is that there ain't anything that the world can do, you know, to injure our understanding. But they do got something in the works where they have this technology, and you brethren have heard it before, man. I think it's called facial recognition, and evidently it's gotten to such a stage now that the accuracy level, I mean, where they just know everything about you. You shouldn't be surprised. you know and it's a pretty good way, man, to streamline power and to exercise freedom, to exercise control over your freedom. Now we in the cosmic era, and I don't see it coming to full fruit. If you ask me, I think that the creator now is bringing the kingdom. I think that even right now, the creator, that he's seeding, he's germinating, he's bringing the kingdom of God on earth as it is in heaven. Now, I believe that the creator, he's put us in a different era, put us in the cosmic era, where the beast kingdom, basically, he just said, your time is up, man. I gave you my people. You beat the hell out of them. And now I'm finished. Now, if you want to join forces and get with my program, come on, let's go. But if not, then just be prepared to reap what you sow. And so when it comes to AI, you know that the first thing that man does, the kingdom of man does, is his whole initial thought is, how can I use this to exercise dominion over my brother? How can I use this? You know what I mean? And there is a thing such as depopulation. There are some men in this world, and they got money. And they got money, meaning they can, I don't have, you probably know where I'm going. You know what I mean? They got the ability, man, to enforce their will on people. And if they think there's too many people in the world, they got ways of depopulation. That's man for you, man. Wants to make man a servant of man. Too many people in the world. Too much money going out for this or that. People not working, putting into the system. Let's cut them down to size, make them a manageable population, and we home free. You see? That's his agenda is easy. It's easy. His whole agenda. You know, he ain't gonna change. Brotherhood of man, of the Uzians. You know what I mean? I don't even have to say it. Okay, it said. Then after this, I'm gonna do the reading. It says, "High cast." Now this is it goes along with this verse right here, I think. And I forget what the question I was that I asked the program, and this came up. I thought it was interesting, so I shared it. It said, high caste women in the document are portrayed as individuals who may have lived a life of luxury and social status on earth, but face challenges and consequences in the afterlife based on their actions. See? It's like if you're on the earth, man, you look down on people because you're successful. You've been blessed with the ability to, you've been blessed with the ability to, you know, what's a good word for when you have means to possess the world, you know? when you have power, you've been granted power and authority, you have the ability to rule the world. I'm talking about the rich and the elite, the high society. And then you go around, you look down on your brethren, you know. You say that you got a middle class and a poverty class, and you want to keep that dominion over your brethren, And the document here is talking about women in this for this particular instance. And then it says the portrayal highlights the spiritual repercussions of their decisions and the impact they have on the afterlife. So there is a recompense for how you act in this reality. I mean, not that I'm saying anything new, but it says the document suggests a connection between their earthly positions and their experiences in the spiritual world, emphasizing the importance of humility, selflessness, and spiritual growth. High caste women are encouraged to forsake worldly attachments, embrace spiritual virtues, renounce material possessions, engage in charitable acts, teach moral values to others. They are depicted as capable of serving the less fortunate, laboring with the poor, and imparting spiritual knowledge gained from their experiences in the spiritual world. The portrayal also includes aspects of entitlement, pride, a focus on social status, concerns with societal position, behaviors of superiority or exclusivity, and a potential emphasis on external appearances and social hierarchy. So you can see, I mean, this sounds judgmental, but we are commanded to exercise good discernment, man. The Creator don't want people walking around ignorant, talking about ignorance is bliss. And He wants you to use your brain, man. You know, He wants you to be able to think for yourself. Let me see. Mahalia says, doesn't it say that we should live in independent villages away from cities and support one another? Yeah, yeah, I know. On a personal note, I'm always thinking of, hey, Alvin, brother, what the hell? Good to see you, man. Man, I hope this thing is taking hold of you. That's the brother that from time to time I have to go to the VA, the hospital, and he came to pick me up, and he let me talk to him, and that was about a month ago, and the brother's still hanging out. So we'll see. Good to see you, brother. But yeah, Mahalia, I know that. Communities of 3,000 or less, and faithless brethren, and that's what the OAHSPE seem to say. I don't know how it's going to happen, though. I wish it would happen fast. I look at Shalem, the community that Brother Newborough that he had. I say to myself, man, if the brothers, if his attempt, man, to get it going didn't work, how are we going to make it work? How are us brethren going to make it work? I know in my mind, I constantly think of, well, now let me see, you got to buy property, you know, you got to, get enough land to where we can have like a community of 3,000. How much space would you need? You need to do the planning. You need to, I'd be thinking all the time what it would take. But it's kind of discouraging when you see the attempts beforehand and how it don't seem to work. And so my mind is like, what's going to happen? How are we going to do this? How are we going to get our own city going? You know, it. I mean, shoot, man. Now I heard of one group of brethren who were abusing the faith. I haven't, they were abusing the faith. Some guy, he seen an attempt at having power and pushing it on his brethren. That's the danger of men, man. They get a little wisdom. The first thing they do is they seek to dominate their brother. And the OAHSPE forbids that. It forbids it, man. You got to subscribe to the doctrine of the Creator, where we are selfless people. We got no king over us. You can come over to my house and say, "Hey, Yaquab, I need to use your minivan." And I say, "Brother, if you don't mind, would you bring me back some cinnamon tea when you go wherever you go?" You know what I'm saying? I can go to your house. "Hey, brother, I'm a little short, man, on some rice aroni. You know, you think you could drop me down a couple of boxes rice aroni? You know, the yellow rice, if you have it." Brother say, "Oh man, you know it ain't no thing. And by the way, man, I just got some fresh tomatoes and lettuce over here. If you want to add a salad to it." See, that's the way. That's the king. That's the OAHSPE way, man. We don't own nothing. You know, just like in the book of Acts, where it say that no man counted anything as his own. See, that's the way a kingdom will work, man. You know what I mean. I wish, man, I pray, I hope that something, I know the Creator's going to do it. Maybe Shalem, it wasn't the time for it. And maybe it wasn't the time for it. But you know that's what the Creator is going to, see, that's the only kingdom that can work, man. Not where you got to work like a slave and you barely able to make it, man. See, that's where we live, man. We live, what I'm saying? Oh, man, you know where I'm going. It's a terrible thing, man. You know, but what about when you know your brethren are going to take care of you? You know what I mean? Dave says, the Moors have already solved that problem. Oh, have they? Check with Brother Daryl Cosman on. Well, he's in the room. So the Moors got communities. I know that they got their own. I know that they don't subscribe to the laws, statute, and commandments of the government. But see, what the hell, man, do people, I don't want to sound harsh, man, but what the hell do our government care about laws, statutes, and commandments? That's why the whole world got a problem with us right now, because we talk about a rules-based order. Basically, we make the rules and you got to follow them. See, that's why all of a sudden now all the nations, the Eastern Bloc nation or the Asiatic nations, now you see now that they joining hands with one another. They said, "Hey, we ain't got to follow your rules, man. We'll just get together and trade for ourselves. Why do we need you?" It's just like, that story. I remember that story I was telling. I got to do the reading. There was a story. I was talking to this one brother. He was a Capricorn, and I was saying how he was working while he was talking to me. I was a delivery driver. I drove them big trucks, and I used to make deliveries to him, and we seemed to take a liking to each other. And he one day he started talking to me, and he was sharing with me about relationship with his wife. They've been married for like 15 or so years. And it's like he said, he said one day he just woke up and said, "You ain't no damn good. You ain't no damn good." In the sense that it took him that long, to finally see his eyes were finally open. And I forget the point of why I'm even sharing that story. I forget. I had a point to it, but I forgot it. See, Daryl says they talking to the Moors. All right. Yeah, but they don't subscribe to the Constitution. They talk about a treaty of friendship and that it was signed and government they not acknowledging it. And I'm not surprised, man. And the Creator, he tells us all about men's hearts anyway, how he's going to always seek his own. And that's why we get ready to go to war, at least this, as from what I could see, because people are not trading with us anymore. They forming their own trade blocks. Now, what do you think is going to happen to us? We've already thrown Europe under the bus. We blew up their pipeline, we making them fight a war and they depopulating themselves. Also that the woman who rides the beast, man, the harlot, because we say, I am, and there is none beside me. That's what America says. That's what a terrible thing, man. What a terrible attitude. You know, we look down on other nations. We go to countries, steal their resources. That's the history of this country. We're the beast kingdom in another way, man. May God help us. May God please help us, because that our spiritual grade. I digress, man. Time for the reading of the word. You know, time for the reading of the word, man. What a terrible, terrible note to end on. You know, but that's the way it is. I think the Creator, He show us this stuff so that our joy can be even more full. I mean, when you on the bottom, you know what I mean. When you on rock bottom, and then the Creator take over, it can only be just a bunch of shouting, man. Any one of us can cross over tonight. We could cross over before you know what I mean? I mean, it's a reality. The things we talk about in this room, the world don't really want to deal with. It's really only faithists who can get with it. Brethren who can subscribe to the OAHSPE. Time for the reading of the word. The name of the video is Book of Judgment, starting in chapter 36. Book of Judgment, chapter 36. I know I won't get through with it, because I want to also read from Radiance Anthology, but I ain't gonna be able to. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get through with it. So let's go ahead with the reading of this word. Let me share the tab. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna start from chapter 36. Chapter 36, Book of Judgment. It's all good, man. It always is with the reading. You know, it's always all good. So let me fix the screen first. I gotta fix the screen. Book of Judgment. I'm gonna start in verse 36. Let's see. How can I make it with the screen? Make it right. Okay, that's good. Good enough right there. All right. May the Creator bless the reading of His Word. This is the Book of Judgment, chapter 36, from the OAHSPE Bible. It says, God shows how He has wrought, how He has worked, what His MO method is, basically. It says in verse 1, it says, God says, behold the work of my hand, O man. It says, as you fire, oh, my brother, my brother, my brother. She came to our house once. You mean that Nikki that came to a party we had in our house? You remember? That's my brother. That's my brother, everybody. My flesh and blood brother. Give me a second. I want to read. Oh my goodness. Her Nikki, but her 7-year-old grandson was shot and killed by his 9-year-old brother. Man, I had a crush on her. On Nikki. Man, I used to really like her, man. That's a shock. Of course, I never told girls I liked them, you know. But it's a hell of a shock to hear when somebody you knew like that, and then this happens. So, hey, Jamia, good to see you, sister. Man, I got to, wow, man, I just got to, man, that's a trip, man. I just got to process that for a second. Wow, I knew her. Her 7-year-old grandson was shot and killed by his 9-year-old brother. Wow, you could be here today and gone tomorrow, man. Thanks, Chuck. I stayed away from you for a little while because I think I felt I let you down talking to Rick. I felt like I let you down. I didn't want to come around too much, and you know, I know you said you was upset at the way we started arguing with one another, so I wanted to give you your space. But thanks for checking in, bro. Thanks a lot. It blesses my soul. All right, now it says with the OAHSPE, the reading of the word, chapter 36, judgment. God shows how he has wrought. Verse 1, it says, wow, Nikki, wow. She's gone, man. My goodness. It says, verse 1, God says, behold the work of my hand, oh man, as you find an old house, no longer habitable, you send workmen to pull it down, and then you send laborers to clear away the brush. It says, verse 2, and afterward you bring builders, and they lay a new foundation, larger and broader than the old one, and upon it they build you a new edifice, adapted with new improvements for the increase in requirements of your family. Even so has your God labored for hundreds of years to prepare for the generations of this day. For I saw beforehand that man would circumscribe the earth, and that all the nations and peoples of it would become known to one another. Verse 5, he says, and I also saw that in the coming time, which is now, here, the old edifices of doctrines, creeds, and religions, including those of the Brahmins, Buddhists, Jews, Kayuans, those are Confucians, Christians, which are Christians, and Mohammedans, would not fulfill the requirements of man, meaning that he had to tear down the old way, the beast system, the old way. He had to tear it down because spirits were going to grow, and they were going to need they were going to basically need new food. Oh, bless you, brother. Yeah, I feel the same about you, you know. Yeah. But it's going to be good, you know. It's going to be good. It's going to be good with everybody, really. It's going to be good. So sometimes you have these temporary, these temporary these speed bumps in the road of relationships with family. I don't hold anything against Rick, you know. I know he gonna come around, so I don't need to have no attitudes or anything. I'm disappointed in how I conducted myself, you know, uh, before you, because we all have a responsibility. We need to show the power of the Creator. All of us got that responsibility. We need to show that we don't subscribe to you know the Hebrew tetracts, meaning the fleshly negative mindsets. When we get the situation with people, we're supposed to be able to show them the power of the Creator and not fall into that trap. But it's all good, you know. Verse 6, it says, now behold, O man, the wisdom of Jehovah and his preparations. Okay, so basically I was reading where Jehovah is basically saying that he knew we were going to come along, talking about you faithists, and the old system, the beast kingdom, it wasn't going to do. It wasn't going to do anymore. Meaning the deception, it wasn't going to do anymore. We need new food. We need to know about what happens after we leave the spiritual. We need to know what the plan is for our life. We need to know how the world was created. We need to know why do I have this vibration? Where does it come from? What is it? We need to know about the righteous gods and the wicked gods. We need to know the glory of the Ethereal worlds. We need to know what the Creator has for us. That time has come. So the Creator here, he's saying, I'm putting away the old beast kingdom, meaning the Brahmins. And eventually these started out good. It's just that they were hijacked. The beast kingdom, They started out good and righteous. That's where they got the idea for these doctrines. They were good and righteous. And then they got corrupted. That's the whole story right there. It says Brahmins, Buddhists, Jews, Catholics, Christians, and Mohammedans would not fulfill the requirements of man. We were going to get to a point, we were going to want to know things that man was not, his system was not going to be able to satisfy. They weren't going to be able to satisfy our curiosity, our spirituality. It says, verse 6, and now behold, O man, the wisdom of Jehovah in his preparations. He had permitted, see, there it goes. There you go, right there. See, he had permitted corruptions and contradictions to creep into the sacred books of all the said great religions, purposely with design, so as to make easy the work of your God. Make it easy to see that you are deceiving us. Your doctrines deceive. Your doctrines, what the purpose is behind them. You want to, what's a good word for making people your subjects? That's the purpose of religion. And it works because people, they automatically think this is good, right? Flips! Flips. And so it was easy. I love it, man. The Creator said he made it easy. He said he gave you your doctrines. You went and ran with them. So that the Creator, in this day and age, he was going to make it easy. He was going to make it easy for his children to see, hey, man, well, look, you've been deceiving us. The Creator said, I'm going to make it easy. I love it, man. He said he's going to make it easy, and he done it. And then verse 7, it says, when I saw that the coming together of nations and peoples would require a new religious edifice, I perceived also that the old ones must be cleared away. How do you like that, man? He said, now see, oh, you got to love it, man. It was always his plan to do away with the beast kingdom. He said that he was going to allow them, run them up. They were going to gather them in, and then he was going to turn around and expose them. Turn around and expose them. Flips with an L. Flips. Verse 8, it says, and behold, I, your God, went to work systematically, inspiring man to accomplish that which man is now accomplished. Verse 9, I raised up scholars and infidels. Again, you got to love this word, man. I raised up scholars and infidels against these religions, inspiring them to attack. Look at here, man. Look at here. Sound familiar, Daryl? I raised up scholars and infidels against these religions. See? There's your 4 horsemen right there. See there? Look at the Creator, man. He said, I raised up scholars and infidels against these religions. Look at that. He said he inspires them to attack the corruptions and contradictions in the sacred books of all these people, man. So you mean you can read this and not shout? How can a faithless read this? Oh, man, I got to slow down, man, because this is just incredible to me. Look at that. I raised up scholars and infidels against these religions. He said he inspires them. Look at that. To attack. You got to, the corruptions and contradictions in the sacred books of all these peoples. See there? Verse 10. And in the same time that I set infidels against the Jewish Bible, I set infidels against the Hindu Bibles, against the doctrines of Brahma, Buddha, KU, and against the Christians and Mohammedans. See there? See? Oh man, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. Scholars like Ace and Half or Horseman. Oh, you gotta love it, man. We looking at the OAHSPE Bible in real time. In real time. Dave Long, I raised up scholars. Look at that. And infidels too. Now that's interesting. Infidels, that's people who they're not spiritual. Is that right? Infidels? He says, I raised up scholars and infidels. So that sounds like people who no longer going to take it. They're going to see the corruption of religion. They're going to see it. Is that the right description for infidels? And then verse 10, it says, and in the same time that I sent infidels against, look at here. See? He said, and in the same time that I sent infidels against the Jewish Bible. See? He said, I sent infidels against the Hindu, against the doctrines of Brahma and Buddha and KU, and against the Christians and Mohammedans. You see? Same thing going on with them too. People coming against them. They got to be pointing to man worship. They got to be pointing to man worship. They got to be pointing to deity idolatry, man. You know? You see? I think that's the number one. I know that's why I got my channel. I just want to come against deity worship and idolatry. That's the only thing I can see. If you spiritual and you subscribe to the Creator, maybe you just don't know, that you can come out of that. That's my only thing, man. Get out. If you worshiping a deity, please get out of that. Idolatry, just whatever you do, man, please get out of that. Get out of that. When I read the OAHSPE, it seemed like the Savior. He keeps saying, the Creator. He keep telling you, man, he keep warning you. Get out of the beast kingdom. You better see the power it has over people's minds. It says, verse 11, and I made the beginning of the work of these infidels and scholars to correspond with the discovery of Gautama, which is America, by Columbus. And I kept them at their work for 300 years, which was up to the time of the establishment of the Republic of Gautama. So talking about 300 or so years before the Pilgrims first came here, the Faithists was at work, man. If I understand this correctly, see, up to and before the time of the establishment of the Republic of Gautama, which is America, which I, your God, provided to be untrammeled by an established religion. See there? You see there? He never meant for America to be overran with doctrine and the beast kingdom and false religion. See? Oh, you gotta love it, man. Oh, Nikki is gone. Nikki is gone. And her grandson. Wow. It says, verse 12, after my workmen, the scholars and infidels, thus undermine me. Look at how, man, I'm sorry, man. I just love it too much. It says, after my workmen. See, he turned down the old house. After my workmen, the scholars and infidels had thus undermined the old edifice. Behold, I sent laborers under the name of merchants and traders to commence clearing away the rubbish. So it started with the Quakers, right? Was it the Quakers or who was it that initially came over? And they came over under the influence of Jehovah. And then England or whoever it was, the British or the Spanish, they remember they said what? That that other ship to come and look at what they was doing. Luamong sent his boys over here with the Quakers to keep an eye on them, kind of, so to speak. And then they went back and reported to Luamong. I don't see how they could go back and report, but I don't know. It said they basically told on the Quakers, hey, they trying to follow you. They trying to establish a new colony based on your rules, based on your word, based on your righteousness. Better stop them. Better send some people over there and wipe them out. And so now you send over the pilgrims. Remember? See? And then that's where the corruption, it began to, the pilgrims and I forget who else, and the Spanish came over and they got busy in Mexico and Latin America. And it just, like the mustard seed. Thanks, brother. The Quakers. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm not surprised because they were faithists, though. You never get a faithist to subscribe to slavery. That's why we had to be wiped out. Because we couldn't get with the program. That's why they left England or wherever they came from. And the Bible is interesting, man, because it talks about some people that wanted to go to another land. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember it? Let me see. Now, let me see. I got a little time. Let me try to do a little dance here. And hope and pray that I don't mess up my computer. Y'all remember this? What does it say? That we may go to another land whereby no man ever dwelt. King James Version. Second Ezra. It says, now I have to think, specifically who this is talking about. I mean, I forget. I used to know. Oh, shoot. Move that off the screen. Let's find another good link. Let's see if we can find another good link. Let me see. Dave says the emissaries of Luamong were on the ship attached to the captain. Yeah. And her crew. Yes, that is true. I don't know who John Woolman is, bro. Is that the captain of the ship that came over? All right. Well, anyway, here in Ezra, it says, Second Ezra 13. See, that's a bad link. So let me do this real. Second Ezra. Shoot. Let me try to fight through it. I gotta fight through it. Matter of fact, let me see if I can outsmart it. I'll just copy and paste it. See, you always gotta buy something, or let me just do it like this. All right, let's get a good link. Okay, here we go right here. Oh, he was a Quaker. Okay. But they took this counsel amongst themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. That kind of sound like the Quaker, but the natives were already over here. But it's interesting way in the Bible, it talks about, oh shoot, I'm not sharing the tab. Second Ezra. And talk about a people that wanted to leave the oppression they were under to come over to America. Now, the OAHSPE says that the OAHSPE says that The faithists were already here, the natives, and they worship only the Great Spirit. The world calls them Indians. I don't, because that means savages. It's called the natives. See, Darrell says John Woolman is the Quaker who spoke out against slavery. John Burroughs, Newborough's people were also Quakers. Yeah, yeah. You know, they got a similar people in Ohio called the. I'm gonna let y'all give me the answer. I'm gonna let somebody in the chat give me the answer. You know who I'm talking about. But it says that there were a group of people in the Bible that said, let's go to America. We don't want to be under this. We don't want to be under this. So let's go back to the reading. Go back to the reading. It says, after my workmen, the scholars, after my workmen, let me share the tab. Share the tab. It says, after my workmen, the scholars and infidels had thus undermined the old edifice. Behold, I sent laborers under the name of merchants and traders to commence clearing away the rubbish. Let me see. Darrell, he says, right, and that's the question that many of us have. Why would Creator send them over here? And the Aborigines of the Great Spirit were already here. Oh, that's a nice question. That's pretty good. I like that. Well, yeah, why would he? I think that they were saying they wanted to get away and they didn't know that the natives were here. Well, in the OAHSPE Bible, they seem to say where never man dwell. I think it's just ignorance. But the fact that it mentions a group of people who wanted to leave England or wherever, British Empire, and come over here, I think is interesting. It's all I'm pointing out. Verse 13, it says, because of their desires and money getting, they did not consider the religious edifice of any people. Matter of fact, let me go back up. It says, after my workmen, the scholars and infidels had thus undermined the old edifice. Behold, I sent laborers under the name of merchants and traders to commence clearing away the rubbish. And because of their desires and money getting, they did not consider the religious edifice of any people, and they provided comity relations wherever they went. So what does the word comity mean? It says courteous, respectful toward the other person's laws and institutions, evil, cordial, polite, agreeable. Okay, so let me see. I got to chew on this for a second. See, Darrell says, however, I think the plan was to bring faith to Europe and Guatemala together. Yeah, I got you. I'm with you. Because we read earlier where the Creator, he said that that's why he established America. So, and he was to make it like the final refuge of where corruption would not go, or he was going to make it like the final frontier for faithists. But they got over here and corrupted it as well, Luamong and his crew. I think that's what he's saying. He says, but the false gods corrupt. Yeah, okay, you beat me to it. There you go. You beat me to it. Yeah, I'm with you, brother. So here it's saying, and beside their desires, it says, after my workmen, the scholars and infidels had thus undermined the old edifice. Behold, I sent laborers under the name of merchants and traders to commence clearing away the rubbish. Now, I think that's talking about the Quakers. I think. I could be wrong, but I think it is. And I say I think because I go to verse 13, it says, because of their desires and money getting. And that don't sound like faithists to me. So I kind of wonder. It said they did not consider the religious edifice of any people, and they provided comedy relations wherever they went. Now, that sounds like America, meaning that they'll lay down their character for money. They'll do anything for money. When business is involved, it ain't no such thing as offending someone you're doing business with, because you want to make money, they want to make money. That's why at your job, they try to, legislate free speech. They try to. You don't have free speech. I mean, you join the company, and you learn pretty quickly what you can say, what you can't say, or who you may offend and who you won't offend. So he's describing a people who, well, I don't know, I can't really dig into it, But it says, and because of their desires and money getting, they did not consider the religious edifice of any people, and they provided comedy relationships wherever they went. It says, for 100 years, these my laborers have been at their work, stripping off and clearing away the prejudice of nations, peoples against one another. Yeah, William Penn, Ben Franklin. He's the guy that they named Pennsylvania after, isn't it? William Penn. And it says, and then behold, I came with my builders and I prepare a new foundation, broader. See, you gotta love it. He says, and then behold, I came with my builders and I prepared a new foundation, broader, firmer, and more open for an edifice adapted to all the nations and peoples in the world. So it sounds up here like the Quakers were described as they had desires and money getting, and they did not consider the religious edifice of any people, and they provided comedy relations wherever they went. So that's okay. That this could be talking about faith. It's verse 13. Money getting, it's not a sin. It said they would not consider the religious edifice of any people. They would not. That's faith is for you. We don't subscribe to no doctrines. We only subscribe to Creator. So that definitely sounds like faith is to me. And the type of relationships they had with people were very cordial. They realized they were in business. That's how I understand this. It says, for 100 years, these my laborers, have been at their work, stripping off and clearing away the prejudice of nations and peoples against one another. It says, and then behold, I came with my builders. So he started with laborers. I think he's showing a progression here. And then behold, I came with my builders. I prepared a new foundation, broader, firmer, more open, for an edifice adapted to all nations and peoples in the world. Sound like faithism to me. Verse 16, first I sent my miracle workers forth into every quarter, saying, whatever has done by the ancient gods and saviors, do likewise, and greater. For I will show the entire world that no man or God is worthy to be worshipped because of miracles. Gotta love it, man. That is the bedrock, man, of a lot of people who claim to have spiritual powers. Once you are able to deceive somebody, you got them. You're home free. You got them forever. Creator said, I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna cut that off. Your what's a good word for deception? Your spiritual deception through magic or whatever. Creator said, I'm gonna cut that off. He says, and then they went forth at my command, and my angels went with them, doing wonders. They healed the sick by laying on of hands. They restored the blind to sight, made the deaf hear, and have brought the supposed dead to life. So that sounds like the first century church. Now that I think about it sounds like the first century church. Because of the book of Acts, remember? Jesus Christ raised the dead, healed the sick. Now, this is the first time I'm reading this. Sounds like the Creator is giving us the inside story of how they were able to do that and why they were able to do that. Healing, raising the dead. It was eventually to show man that it don't matter how many miracles you do. You should not worship any deity, no matter what they can do. Imagine when, I don't know where the OAHSPE stands with the Antichrist. Christianity, some man comes on the scene, able to do all kinds of things, and then people are going to immediately subscribe to they setting up this person, gonna do, the Antichrist. Can you, brother, imagine the harvest that's going to reap? Can you imagine? And Creator, he's showing us here. He said, it don't matter how many miracles a man does. We still ain't got no permission to subscribe to any man who makes himself out to be a God. It don't matter what they do, is what he's saying. Sound like. It said they have caused writing to come on stone tablets and on paper in the light of day by unseen hands. They have caused ponderous bodies without mortal contact to move and to beat time to music. A child has lifted 8 full-grown men with her little finger. Now, I don't know what this is talking about. I know that it talks about a little girl, I think. Well, here it says a child has lifted 8 full-grown men with her little finger. Now, if I were to go online, I remember seeing something about a little girl and her strength. I do remember that. I don't think, let me see. Now, this is not going to address it, what I saw. It just talked about one little girl, though. She could lift her dad, and she was like 8 years old or something. Now, I ain't going to be able to find it. Don't even try. So, now, I wonder what this is, what that means, though. Is it a future time? And then who is the they? It says, they have caused writing to come on stone tablets and appear on paper. And it sounds like this is something that actually happened or historical. It says they have caused hundreds bodies without mortal contact to move and beat time to music. Who is they? Must be these gods or whoever it is that sets himself up as God. I don't know. It says check the footnotes on the side. It will answer your questions. Okay, thanks, brother. Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Let's see. Now this is footnote number. Let's see. Let's look. Okay. Now I'm going to read footnote number 1306, but let's find it first. Okay, here it is right here. It says, they healed the sick by laying on of hands. They restored the blind to sight, made the deaf to hear, and have brought the supposed dead to life. Okay, so let's see who is, oh, he got me again. I didn't switch the tab. Oh, that bites. Thank you, brother. I'm sorry, man. I thought I had it down. All right, so let's see who the they are. Who are the they? Okay, now the footnote, it says, I have seen 2 cases of blindness thus cured. One had been blind 12 years and the other 8 months. Now let's go. Let me see if I went up. Oh, okay, 1305 says this refers to the spiritualism movement which flourished from 1849 and 1882. All right, talking about the Fox sisters. Remember them? Y'all remember the Fox sisters from Rochester, New York? They basically got it all started. Creator, he used them. The Fox sisters, they got it started. They were able to it was called the Rochester Rappings. Okay, if you want to look it up. And the Creator is saying that's how he got spiritualism started. Here, I can go to them real quick. I believe I can do it without anything messing up on me. The Fox sisters, the Rochester Rappings. Okay, so these women right here were used to the Creator. Now, from what it seemed to be 2 accounts. One account says that they were fomenting that they were perpetrating a fraud. Some people say they weren't, but the Creator, he refers to them. This is the house where they operated. It looked like something out of Halloween, don't it? Looked like something out of Halloween. Look at that. That's spooky looking right there. And that's something. Creator said he used what they were doing to get people to get on the road to spirituality. Things that nobody, you know, Dave says, oh, okay, not only the Fox sisters, but many others as well. Okay, I get it. So this was a worldwide thing. There were others doing the same type of work that got spiritualism started. But the OAHSPE, it just mentions the Fox sisters. Spiritualists, oh, did I do something wrong? My machine is saying you're not sharing your screen. You're not sharing your screen. So, see, that's what I mean, man. You start dancing, man, and you'll mess up. You'll mess the video up, man. Can't keep doing that. Can't keep doing that. All right, I think I got it now. All right. So, all right, yeah. So there were many others that were integral in the rise of spiritualism. And then the other footnote, it says, I have seen 2 cases of blindness thus cured. One had been blind 12 years and the other 8 months. These 2 I knew my own knowledge, but I heard of many other cases which were well authenticated. I also know of a child that 3 physicians pronounced dead, which was restored to life and is now living. I've heard of many other cases, but find that authority is not sufficient for a work of this kind. And then another footnote, 1307, it says fully mature, grown, full bloom, 1307. So let's see, that footnote is right here. They have passed full-blown flowers and plants through boards and tables, unbruised and uninjured, and yet there was neither hole or opening in the boards and tables. It says they have made stars of light that spoke with audible voices. They have made pillars of fire by night and pillars of cloud by day. So you have to think it's talking about people, not necessarily faithists. I think that's what it's saying. That were able to manifest these signs and wonders. It says, they have caused the spirits of the dead to appear as if in flesh and blood, while thus appearing to talk face to face with their mortal kin, who saw them, heard them, and by the subject of the discourse, proved to them to be the very angels of heaven, returned to their earth kin and friends. For the time of one generation, your God has thus kept open the gates of heaven, working through mortals by the angels of heaven. It says, my testimony and my witnesses are hundreds of thousands of years. I do not hide the work of my hand and of my angels in a corner. I extend them abroad over the earth. I manifest in the cities and country places. I prove to all peoples that common men and women can do the miracles for which gods and saviors have been worshipped. See? That's what some gods and angels use to deceive people. They use it to deceive people. Miracles, signs, and wonders. He said, yes, I gave these powers to good and bad men and to good and bad women. For I show miracles in order to break down the worship of miracle workers. I can mention a lot of names, but I'm not going to, I ain't going to do it. For I will have none worship but Jehovah, and I have inspired angels to this end, to the end that good works and wisdom shall be from this time forward the means of resurrection in heaven. And I have shown also that only by harmony, there are you Libras. It's a high time for you Libras. See, you see the key word there? Libra is peace and harmony, brother. I just found out Kamala Harris is not a Scorpio. She's a Libra. That's a trip, ain't it? I thought she was a Scorpio. See? Libras are going to be used. You Libras are going to be used mightily, man, because you're going right down our alley. When you talk about peace and harmony, Libras is a sign of relationships. You know? Everybody's got their strength. See? I have shown also that only by harmony and the union relationships of many can any great good come to the generations of men. Man, And that will conclude the reading of this word. That will conclude the reading of this word, man. May the Creator be blessed, man. May the Creator be blessed. He let everybody have their run. To summarize what we read tonight, he let everybody have their run on the faithists. And they made us sick. They deceived us. They took us into captivity. And now the Creator is basically, he's saying, that's it. That's it, man. You know, that's it. I did it to show a couple of things. Number one, man cannot govern himself without submitting to my commandments. He can't do it. He always got to seek to make a brother his slave. He can't help himself, man. He must make his brother a slave. All right, man. Anybody want to share anything? I'm gonna let it go for about a minute or so. And then if not, let me put the link in the room. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Wow, Nikki is dead. Nikki Mills. I used to really like you, Nikki. I used to really like you. Man, oh man, oh man. Man, that's a blow. So one day you're here, one day you gone, man. You know, one day you're here, one day. I mean, that's the way it is, brother. You know. All right, Elijah. Shalom, brother. Thanks for checking in, man. Here one day, gone the next, man. You know. And from what I see, man, you know, it's really fake this. You fake this. You basically, you know. It's like if you're running a 100-yard race, they start at the 99-yard line and then go forward. If a brother or sister can't receive what's going on right now, it's like they basically start off at the beginning. And then they begin their journey. They begin their run. And from what I read in the OAHSPE, it's all good, man. You know, there's a saying in the world, you'll do better drawing a bee with honey than you will with vinegar or something like that. You know what I mean? It makes sense, man. That makes sense to me, you know. All right, that's the best I can do. Let me see, Chuck. Oh, she passed away years ago. And her grandchild is the one that was shot. Oh, okay, so Nikki is gone. I thought she was the one that got shot. Wow, man, you know. All right, man. You know, hate to end on that note, but that's the best I can do for right now, man. It's all good. It is the Creator, man. Thank you, Creator, giving me this opportunity to share with my brethren, blessing this word. Wow. Just got to thank you for this opportunity, for raising up brethren who can receive this, be a light, showing us that the time for our captivity is all over with. It's finished with. So we thank you. See, Omian says the thing is we faith has come down to clean things up. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. The workers, the laborers, the builders. You can really see the Creator, man. His plan. You know, you could really see it clear as day, man. Thanks for that word, brother. All right, man. That's the best I can do for today. No video tomorrow. I'll be in Bible study tomorrow. And so Thursday, Friday, Creator willing, I'll be back around. And until then, brethren, thank you. Blessing me, checking in. Pray that the Creator bless us all, man, with peace, love, wisdom, light. And until I see you again, peace be unto you. Shalom.